Hey riders, 1 minute plus to go. Thursday, July 18th, 2024, Muckers Worldwide Championship Series. This is the one, folks. This is where it goes down. Yeah, we got some hitters here. I'm looking at the top 10 right now before we get started here on our ride from Saint-Lary-Soulan to Plat-a-Day. I've heard that name so many times, Plat-a-Day at the Tour de France. Pretty awesome that this route, anyways, is included in Rouvy. I'm sure this is a brand new route this month for the Tour de France. This is probably actually one of the Vive la France challenge routes, I would imagine. Just so we all know, we've got a really, really close battle for first place here between Stefan Schmidt and Breers 33, separated only by, I think, looks like about 1.5 points. L. Roland, maybe 15 points back. M4B, Don Matteo, Klaus Kinski, Mike Hagan, my friend Shunik, Thomas Lynn, and Stephen Lutford. That's the top 10. From first to 10th place, there's a matter of maybe 90 total points separating them. So here we go, folks. Sorry, I'm in rider mode at the moment. Let's turn that off here for you. Let's get the map loaded quickly so we can see the juiciness of this route as we start ascending. So we leave town. We leave the comforts of town. Everyone had their nice little cappuccino this morning, their croissant. We're heading out into the hills, folks. Here we go. You can see there's a group that's just taken a rocket launch start here, and there's a gap forming already. Ooh, this is going to be a fun ride here. Pretty short. We're 12 kilometers, 7.2 miles, with 900 meters of climbing. Yeah, this is going to be quite the little test. First part's kind of a little bit roly-poly, a couple little warm-up kicks to test the rider's legs out. It's kind of ups and downs for the first, I'm going to say, 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers. Then we get into the guts of the climb, which you can look at this, and I'm going to say, yeah, outside of this part, you're pretty much climbing the whole way. There's a couple of little downhill segments. Maybe 3/4 in, there's a little bit of a reprieve. But yeah, you start climbing again. And then at the end, there's maybe, what is that going to be? Maybe a few hundred meters of flat. So, like we usually do, folks, let's have a little look, see who's here. Don Matteo, Shunik. For all my friends here, my Muckers friends who don't see all the GRC races, I know everyone can't be everywhere. Everyone's got different schedules. The rider that's in first place right now, PRZ KRK from Poland. I looked up how to say his name on Google one day, and it sounded like it said Shunik to me. I'm just calling him that. I know it's not the correct pronunciation, but that's what I'm sticking with. He knows my inside joke. I don't think it's very close to how you pronounce it, but it's the best way I can do it. L. Roland here, Don Matteo, Carol Susik, Stefan Schmidt. That's our leader overall. Hey, we got Dog Trips here. I've shortened the name to Dog Trips because I stumble over this bike and Dog Trips every time. Dog Trips has been uploading his race videos to YouTube as well. I just stumbled into them a few days ago, Dog Trips, so I know I messaged you about it. Here's Klaus Kinski from Gur. And actually, you know what? I haven't seen this rider around much. I've been missing some. I think I caught the first Thursday race in July. Missed the last couple, I believe. Klaus Kinski here riding for the Gur team. Ratim. Yep, I've ridden with Ratim before. Strong rider. We got Mike Hagan here as well. Another top 10 rider in the championship series this month. Ginger Jitters. New rider to me. Level 55. Then we've got the Shark of the Alps coming through in 11th place here. Coming over this last little kick, a little bit of a descent here. Our front runners are going to be starting the climb right away. We got Phil, Dogma, Duckman 2. I've been seeing Duckman around a lot lately. Here's David 1951. Rides with GRC a lot. Here's Neil. Shout out to Neil. Congrats again, dude, on doing your virtual Everesting. Like, huge effort. Most people here probably do know about the Muckers Worldwide website. Neil's got a really cool blog there. That's right. I didn't say vlog. I said blog with a B. Hey man, written word, it still dominates. I would way rather read something and just absorb it all. There's just so much more content there for me. Neil put together a really good training diary. I'm not sure if it's called a training diary, just like little updates and tidbits of how he was going to get ready for it. You know, it's not like I did this many, reps and this and that. He talks a little bit about those things, but it's just more of his mental mindset getting ready for it. Just really cool stuff to read about. So Neil's got that posted there, so everyone should go over there and read it right away. So we're going to back up here from Neil. We got Stephen Lutford here, who I think Stephen rounds out the top 10 of the championship series. Here's a new rider to me, Huib, I'm going to say. Try to pronounce that. Silly Sill here as well. Oh, here she is. I was on Easy Spanner. I know I've seen Easy Spanner before. Legend rider. Level 80. Wow. Sylvia's a lane 82. That's great. Stelvio bound here. Level 77. Anderson. I've been seeing Anderson around a lot. Simon JP. Like, check this out. Pretty new to Rouvy. I'm going to say level 17. You've been on Rouvy barely a month. Taking on a pretty good climb today. Wow, that's all we have today, folks. I'm shocked. I thought we would have more riders. We had 23 riders taking on this climb today. Maybe a lot of people are busy. We are in the summer season, so a lot of people are riding outside. I've just made it my decision. I'm just riding inside now. Ooh, take a look at this here. Some of the steeper segments of this ascent come at the lower parts here. You can see Shunnick's just coming out of a 13-14% segment. And look at the profile. I'm pointing at it right now with the mouse pointer. That's going to be the next probably 13, 14, 15% segment. Shunnick, extremely strong rider. Very strong rider. He's had some bad luck. I think it was I think it was the first one I covered in July. Shunnick disconnected and didn't get reset on course. When they did come back, they went from top 10 down to 41st place, I believe it was, just sitting still the whole time. Obviously shows there's different ways of disconnecting and how the software reacts with it, because sometimes you can just keep pedaling, and if you got the route downloaded with all the files and all the here's the up down, here's the XY coordinates, basically a GPX file, your computer would know where you are, and then I think when you get your connection back, reset you. I've talked about this a million times. So yeah, we got a nice group at the front here. We got 3 up front. Let's take a look at the map. Ooh, look at this, folks. Ha, see that there? That was funny how that one person just jumped in there. Looks like we got 3 riders up front. We got 110 meter back to Stefan Schmidt. And that's what I was going to say. I just realized that too. So the way Neil has it set up, there's multiple race events. I think there's actually, this is the main race. There's also a later race, and I think there's even another later race. There might almost be 5 different versions of the same climb today. I believe so. There's like a really early one, too early for me, the main event. Okay, I'm a little bit late, and then, hey, I sleep all day and party all night event. Let's call it that. So they're up riding late at night just for different time zones around the world. So yeah, some of the people that may be in contention here for top 10, like Breers, I think it's Breers 33, I believe. I'm just going to confirm that. I've got my stuff open here. Yeah, Breers 33 is only 1.5 points behind Stefan Schmidt, and they're not here at the moment. Breers, that is. We're watching Stefan right now. So here's our overall leader in the series. L. Roland is only, let's take a look at this, 18 points behind Stefan, but L. Roland's in that front pack. So great move by L. Roland to get up there with Carroll and Shunnick. Don Matteo, another very strong rider. I've seen this rider a lot, and came out a lot for our GRC events on Sundays. In fact, I know Don Matteo here was in the Canada Day ride on July 1st. That's an event we put on. Don Matteo was able to jump away in a 5-rider break with Shunnick himself right here. I think Bashak won that one. It was Don Matteo, Shunnick, Bashak, V Cycling. I should remember the last rider here. Let me think about it. Oh, Pavel Floten. So I chased after Shunnick for a little bit. He was cranking 7 watts per kilo. I was in his draft at 5 watts per kilo. Don Matteo made a little secondary attack, which I couldn't hang with, and 5 got away. So I was stuck in the group traveling, the pack that was going to end up in 6th to 11th place. Video's online somewhere. You can check it out if you'd like. Don't forget, you're watching Colin over at Inside Cycling World. I did a group ride today, and I don't know, I was thinking about changing my name to Inside Cycling World. What do you think? Would that help me stand out better? Think that would help me out? I'm not sure. Anyways, we're going to bounce back here a little bit. Let's get right to the back here. So yeah, we got our 23 riders. Here's Andresano, struggling up this 13% stuff. Okay, back on it now. Probably just skipped a gear there. Moving up to Stelvio bound. This is a good little test today. I imagine the majority of the riders here should be able to do this within an hour, is my guess. That's my guess anyways. I think I could do this in an hour. I'm not really sure. I've never done this one. Something to look at. Easy Spanner, Stephen Ludford. Ooh, look at this nice little group here. We've got Neil, David 1951, Sylvia, and Stephen riding all together. Got a nice little 4-rider pack here. We're going to bounce 77 meters up the road. We got another nice group. Another 4 riders together. 5 riders. Redogma, Phil, Huib, Duckman2, and the Shark. Here is just off the front end of that little group a little bit. Bouncing up, we get the Ginger Jitters. Mike Hagen. Okay. Klaus Kinski. Ratim. Don Matteo. Ooh, yeah, take a look at this. Just brutal here. 21%. Now, if your trainer can actually push 21%, you know how hard this is. And this is exactly what I was saying. Here's the hardest part. We're in it right now. 19, 20%. Like, I mean, this kind of stuff when I'm on my trainer, Tax Neo 2T, and like a lot of the, let's call them the smart bikes, air quoting here, smart bikes, basically the highest end trainer you're going to get. Like, so like a tax, whatever the tax bike is called, and I know Kicker has a bike, don't they? And the Watt bike and all those. They can really simulate these well. I mean, even my trainer goes up to 25%, and you're just grinding along at like 40 RPMs. In fact, I should have been looking to see what people were doing there, because I really like to look at that, how people ride differently. Yeah, like Mike Hagen, he's a spinner through this stuff. Let's see how Mike, I'm just going to watch Mike here, not going to pick on him or anything. Let's see, Mike likes to ride. He's riding right at 90 RPMs, 11% gradient. He's going to hit this really hard stuff here. It just kicks. 14%. We're going to be up to that 16%. Okay, he's coming down a little bit. 17%. He's settling back to 82 RPMs. I'm just going to say, even though it's under 80 RPMs, Mike's quite a bit more of a spinner than me. So, like, I think here, for me, I'd be in the 50s. Just kind of like grinding. And I do have some really good examples of this in other races, because everyone's like, oh, you got to be doing 95 RPMs to do really well. And I've seen people riding side by side in my videos. One's doing like 100 RPMs and one's doing 60. Side by side. As I like looking at that stuff and pointing it out. So basically, take a look at Ginger Jitters here. The next rider right behind Mike Hagen. So they're pretty close together, doing very similar rides. One's riding at 80 RPMs and one's riding at 55 through the same stuff. So don't get too hung up on, if you're not a superb spinner. One of my favorite cyclists, just because he's a bigger guy. He's huge, Magnus Backstead. He said he was a total grinder. Could never spin. But guess what? He won Paris-Roubaix. Like, come on. and he finished the Tour de France. I don't think I could. I don't think a lot of riders that can spin at 90 RPMs, they may not even be able to finish it. Like, us amateurs. So I wouldn't get too hung up on that. I think if your body can handle it, then ride it. Ride what you feel comfortable riding. Don't, don't beat yourself up because you're not spinning at 100 RPMs. Do what you can do. That's my, like, G.I. Joe, Yo Joe, and now you know moment right there. The more you, what did he used to say? Yo Joe, God, I can't even remember now. Anyways, folks, probably a little dazed here, a little hungry. I did a group ride this morning. I've done 2 group rides this week, and you know what? I really like it. Really like it. Ooh, Shanik putting in a dig here. Shanik's putting in a dig. Actually working quite well with Carol here. Both riding 5 watts per kilo all the way. Both look to be right in that 65 kilogram range. I like that. L. Roland's just slipping off the back end now. L. Roland's just over 60 kilograms as well, I would say. Stefan Schmidt's holding his position nice. Earlier on, Stefan was about 110 meters back from those 3. So our front 3 is fractured into a group of 2 now. With L. Roland stuck in no man's land, you can just see them. Stefan Schmidt hanging right in there too. Dog Trip's doing really well. Dog Trip, 60 kilogram rider. Don Matteo. Don Matteo is probably closer to between 75 and 80 kilos. Again, folks, big brother watching. Everyone here looks really solid to me. I love to see fair and square racing. I always do this. I'm always looking at people's power outputs. And once in a while, I see a crazy one. And I know sometimes there's new people on here that maybe don't have their machines calibrated properly. But, I mean, you got to do the best you can, right? So maybe your trainer's not calibrated properly. Maybe you accidentally put the weight in wrong. Maybe you changed the weight. Maybe someone else is using your machine at the same time and they weigh way less than you. But, I mean, please just do the best you can to make sure your weight's put in properly. I've been watching other events, not these ones, and I've seen riders under 50 kilos. Grown men under 50 kilos. Now, did a little bit of research this morning. Remco, 61 kilos. Jonas, 58. Taddy, 66. Roglic, 65. Even Romain Bardet, 65 kilograms. Now that guy's really skinny because he's quite tall. Sepp Kuss, 61 kilograms. Carapaz, who just won yesterday's stage, was that stage 17? 62 kilos. So then I went looking around, digging even deeper. Looks like we have a disconnect here. Simon JP is just disconnected. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Slipped a gear there. He's changing gear. I think he dropped his chain, so he's going to have to work for a little. Maybe neutral service is right nearby. The team cars are trapped behind all these riders. So hopefully neutral service can get there and give him a hand. And he hasn't jammed that chain too far into the chainstay and just torn his chainstay apart on the carbon bike there. So, I did a little bit more digging, and I thought, who are a couple of the smallest riders I can think of? Okay, Marco Pantani. That's one. Here's another one. Domenico Pozzovivo. Okay, Pantani was 57 kilos. Pozzovivo was 58 kilos. Now, I'm the master of benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I believe people, and I truly am the master of the doubt. If someone said, "Hey, Colin, I hate your guts," I might say in my head, "Well, what did he really mean by that?" I would be like, well, "He doesn't really hate my guts. He probably just meant this," or something. He would probably say something a lot worse than that. So maybe some of these smaller, lightweight riders, I guess, in the World Tour Pro, maybe you can weigh 50 kilos. At, say, our level, at amateur level. Maybe the pros weigh a bit more because they're just shredded with muscle. Maybe they got a bit more muscle mass than we do. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Like, let's say you took Carapats. I'm just using his name as an example. We use Pontani, whoever, and they weren't a pro cyclist. Yeah, maybe he could walk around at 50 kgs if he wasn't, overeating, over drinking, like his natural frame size. But because he's such a hardened athlete, training so much, he's got that 8, 9 pure kilos of pure muscle just, everywhere all over him. That's it. When I see under 50 now, yeah, whatever. Okay? I'm just going to say it. It's a good thing I don't get paid to make these videos, right? So I think I can say it. Yeah, I just said it. There we go. So yeah, super legit here today, folks. Love it. Love the level of competition here. Okay, so anyways, that was my... Kurt Hansen, where'd this rider come from? Late starter here. So we had 23. So I think Kurt's been bombing along on the flats here as I've been on my Collins random rambles, and has just started the ascent. It looks like another, somewhat lightweight rider, but it's going to be around 60 kilos, all good with me. I know a ton of dudes walking around at 130, 135 pounds. There's lots of those. But when I see 45 and 48, you weigh 100 pounds. Not if you're a dude. Okay, so moving on. Stelvio Bound. Ooh, a little struggles here for Stelvio Bound. Crunchy on the gears, maybe. I'd love to hear what's going on there. Stelvio Bound, nice job here. Little struggles on these climbs. Could be, like their power's jumping around a lot. I see really low to really high. Could be clunking through some gears. Something I'd be doing. I don't ride my Di2 on my trainer. I wonder if everyone else does. So I've got a really nice bike. I got a Cervelo S3. Just the Aero one. I probably got it 2019, like brand new with the NV wheels on it, like a really super slick NV wheels. Like the wheels alone were like, I think $3,000 or something. So yeah, it's a nice bike. Ultegra Di2. Andresano having a bit of struggle here too. I don't even ride it. I love how it shifts. I ride it outside, but right now I ride outside maybe once per year. The more people I hear about getting hit, having accidents, and just recently, I know one of our GRC members made a mistake and got smoked by a car. Doing fine, but long road to recovery. Some of you will know this person. Another GRC member had a tire blowout at close to 30 miles an hour. Face full of gravel, road rash. Another lady you might know, I probably won't say names. I mentioned her in another one of my videos, so make sure you go watch that video. Get the view count up, folks. Yeah, she got broadsided. And yeah, barely walked away from that one. So yeah, I just feel really comfortable riding inside now. Do I miss the wind in my face? Sure. Do I miss bugs getting jammed inside my ears? And later on after my ride, nothing worse than a summer ride. You come home, you towel off a little bit because you're not like super saturated with sweat. You cool off and then you feel like little tiny bugs crawling around in your hair. Oh, I just love that. Yeah, I don't miss that at all. David here riding nice. David's lightweight too, 60 kilo rider. This is probably like the perfect weight for this kind of climb, like 60 kilos. You can still generate enough power, but you're not hauling too much weight up here. Whereas myself, I'm 30 kilograms lighter, heavier than these people. Yeah, Sylvia doing well here. Phil, we got a lot of riders close together here. Take a look at this. Actually, it's kind of hard to see them here. They're kind of tucked in these bubbles. Few riders. Who's this back here? So let's have a look back. So here's Kurt Hansen. He's coming up to some of the really tough stuff. Not sure why we're not seeing Stelvio Bound at the moment. Here, I'm going to jump back out of there. Why are we not seeing Stelvio Bound? That was very strange. Yeah, so here's David chasing after Sylvia. And just up the road we got Phil, who's right on Redogma's wheel. Hopefully they're working together. Stephen Ludford just around the bend here. So if we bounce back, let's bounce back to Redogma. Can we? Yeah, I just saw Stephen's name plate disappear here. Should pop up once we get around the corner, I believe. Depends on what the drawing is like here on this route. Yeah, Stephen's just up the bend here somewhere. Here's Phil. Probably going to show up better on the straightaways, and we're actually climbing now, so we may not see that. Simon JP back at it. Great job, Simon. I don't know Simon. I think this is the first time I've seen them. Riding through some of this tough stuff again. 16%. Oh, and Simon is really grinding down into the 30 RPM, 20 RPMs. Wow. Now, I think what you got to notice here too, folks, is not everyone has the same gear, right? So you can ride whatever you want on your trainer. As long as you got a decent trainer, I would suggest a wheel on I would suggest a wheel off if you can get it. Because the wheel on, you never know if you're going to have slippage of your tire. You know, the tires lose air all the time. They start slipping. I think all of the wheel off trainers, when you get to a higher level, are more accurate in your power output. But besides that, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. What I'm trying to say is, okay, so like you could ride an ultra lightweight climbing bike. Let's say you got a $20,000 Tour de France level bike. You can ride that on your trainer. You could ride an older mountain bike on your trainer. As long as you got a trainer that's going to track your power and that's all you need. You don't need to even worry about it. You can ride your bike inside with flat pedals if you want. My bike of choice for inside is a Jake the Snake. It's a Kona Jake the Snake cyclocross bike. So because of that, don't really have the greatest gears. I kind of have like just gears that are middle of the road. I don't have anything too big. I don't have anything too small. So when I bought the bike, it had a 36-46 on the front. I upgraded that to a 50 because I was spinning out so fast. And on the back, I think it's maybe I know in the back, my biggest in the back is a 28. That's it. So when I'm climbing, all I've got in the front is a 36. I got a 28 in the back. There's places when you're in these 20%, like you saw our friend Simon here. Yeah, you're going to be barely able to turn the pedals over. So Simon could have something even different. I think there's someone who rides with GRC all the time that only has a 26. They've just got an older bike, and that's what they got. But they're capable of doing it. So, yeah, right. You could put anything on the trainer if you wanted. You could put an old mountain bike on, as long as you got enough selection of gears. And in fact, with an old mountain bike, you probably got great gears because you probably got a triple on the front end. 3 different chain rings. So you probably have all sorts of gears, even if you don't have a lot of gears in the back. Let's say you've got like an old 18-speed mountain bike or something, 6 in the back, 3 in the front. You probably have a wide range of gears to work with. You could probably put Granny's 3-speed beach cruiser or something on a trainer. It'll work. Just remember, though, not to ride things like this because you won't have gearing anywhere capable of doing it. You probably want to stick to the flats on those ones. Let's just jump ahead here. Simon's actually, a larger, more powerful rider from what I'm seeing here. Probably like 90 kilos. So great job, Simon. Yeah, love seeing this. Hweeb. Hweeb is probably exactly my size. Hweeb hasn't been around Rouvy that long. Ginger Jitters, rider I don't know, but has been around a little bit. Lighter, 70-something kilos. So yeah, super legit here. Love it. Everyone's looking sharp today. Here's Shunnick at the front. Carroll still chasing. Shunnick's very strong. Very strong rider. Much lighter than me. So is Carroll. So is L. Rowland. Little bit of a gap here. No, Carroll's coming back now. Getting on his wheel. I think this could go between either one of these two. L. Rowland just slipping back a little bit. Oh, this is good to see. L. Rowland's now with Stefan Schmidt here. So I missed all that in my rambles. But a little previously, Stefan was only about 120 meters behind L. Rowland. Not sure if L. Rowland eased off. Got a little tired. Did Stefan push forward? Did L. Rowland wait for him, knowing they can work together? Here's Don Matteo. with dog trips here. So yeah, we got 3 groups of 2 at the moment. The front 2, then we got El Roland and Stefan, then we've got Don Matteo and dog trips. Jumping back, Klaus Kinski riding solo. Oh, but can just see 2 riders ahead of him. Look, check this out. Okay. Yeah, Klaus here too. Lightweight rider, 60 kilograms, maybe just a little bit over that. Perfect weight for this kind of a climb. I'm wondering, jumping back to these 2 riders here, because I've watched them so much, I know Shani can drop some big watts. Watch out for these cows here, folks. Come on, man. Where's the fences? Shani can drop some watt, like serious power. And I'm thinking he might try to make a break somewhere in here. Where we flatten out and this false flatty stuff, you can see at the split coming up here. Yeah, it might be a good time to make a move and put like 30, 40 meters into Carroll. I think on the pure climb, I think they would stick together side by side. So Shanik might want to make a break then. But you know what? He's probably powerful enough that he can make a break here at this very last little chunk and sprint away, is my guess. So let's go back down through the field here. Ooh, 12% gradient. Nice spin here. So Kurt here is doing the old, high 80s, 80s to 90s spin. Stelvio bound. Andresano just grinding through the gears here. Perfectly my style. So again, sometimes when you see this, you're thinking, this could be a combination of equipment and just their style. A lot of these smaller riders, they will stand to generate more power on the climbs. They're using their body weight, rocking back and forward. That's why when you do an FTP test, it has to be seated, like in a seated position. And I never stand up. Outside of maybe a sprint, I barely sprint. So, let's just say rarely. I understand I was just taking a few little rests here. Jumping up easy spanner, holding a nice, high 2-something watts per kilo, 2.7, 2.8. Low RPMs here. We are in the 12% stuff. So again, could have a bike setup that's got no gearing for climbing. It's just used to powering through this stuff. Very possible. That's what I would say that this is. Here's Neil. Neil likes to spin a bit more. And this 10, 11% stuff, spinning high 80s, very low 90s. So Neil likes to spin. And maybe I would too. But I think generally I'm lower than this. David doing a good job too. Riding a little bit alone. Sylvia's just out in front, 100 meters ahead. Neil's only 150 meters behind. Oh, I want to get back to the front here to see what Shunik's going to try to do here. Now, at this point, they haven't really tried to smash each other. We're on the flat stuff. Now we're just going into a little bit of false flatty, 1 to 2%, coming up to the second split of the day. Look at this. We're only 32 minutes in. Like, these riders are going to be done like... we're 2.5. Yeah, we're going to be done like in 40 minutes. We're probably 8 minutes out for these 2 to be done. And I imagine most of the field will be like under an hour. So will they be done in 7 minutes? Sure. Why not for these 2? The Wild Stallions are at the front. Then bouncing back, El Roland. Look at this guy going up here. We got El Roland and Stefan Schmidt riding side by side. And we still got Don Matteo and Dog Trips riding together. Dog Trips are looking really good. I didn't know Dog Trips was a climber. I did not know that because the only place I've really seen Dog Trips is on some of the flatter courses, has done a lot of the GRC events. We kind of stick to the flatter ones to keep it all together. However, lately I've been thinking, and I brought it up with the group, let's throw some more climbs in, but short ones that give pure climbers a chance. Those pure climbers are still going to have to work for it though, because I'm talking like maybe 1 to 2 kilometers in length, with a couple 100 meters of climbing. And so what I think is cool about that is those lightweight climbers can just fly away at huge watts per kilo. But some of the bigger riders, yeah, they can easily punch their way up those climbs, especially when they're fresh. So could be really cool battles. That's what I want to see. Okay, we got these two together still. I'm wondering if Shaunik's just going to save that big sprint for the end. Right here, where it goes yellow, right over the top. Will Carroll be able to react to that? We are 1.75 kilometers to the finish. Shaunik pushing nice and hard, 5 watts per kilo. Carroll right there with him, like matching him totally. Check this out here too, though. Carroll, a level 97 rider. And again, lots of high-level riders here. Look at all these riders in the 60s. These are all legend riders who, you know, legend used to be 80. So we got 81, 86 Mike Hagan, 82 El Rowan. Shaunik's a level 80. So just want to watch those two carefully. These two working together well. We got two more friends back here working together. Klaus Kinski catching up onto them though. Yeah, this is going to be good now. This is going to be a three-way battle here. Rat Tim's not out of it either. So if I just jump back here, here's the cows. And you can see the cows on the road up ahead here, where I'm circling on the screen. So Rat Tim is not that far behind these three other riders. Could enter the fray, into the battle. Mike Hagan, 350 meters back. But he's then over 800 meters ahead of Simon and Ginger Jitters and Huib. So we've got three riders there. Duckman too is, you know, in it as well, chasing those riders down. Stelvio Bound is now in 24th place. So Kurt Hansen has passed two riders at this point. Let's see how Kurt's doing here. Yeah, 65 kilogram rider, 64, 63, something like that. On the lookout, folks. Here's Neil. 60 meters ahead of Easy Spanner. Not that far behind David 1951 either. You know, I'm looking at these roads here. This looks absolutely beautiful, but when I see these roads, all I can think of is heavy. These roads are heavy. You are not rolling fast on these roads. It looks like one of those roads where they put some sticky down and then lay a layer of gravel on top, pea gravel, something like that. And then you feel every tiny little bump. And the rolling resistance is just horrendous. To bounce back up to the front here. Take a look. Still a nice, super strong 5 watts per kilo up to stuff. I can just imagine these two just drenched in sweat. Yeah. Insane. Riders 3 and 4 are only 700 meters back. 5th and 6th are 2.2 kilometers back at this moment. I said they might be done around 40 minutes. We are less than 1 kilometer to go. We're going to climb for a little bit here at 8%. We're going to dip down probably into the 5s and 6s. Kick back up to maybe 10, and then we're false flatty finish. Probably 1 to 2%. I'm wondering what Carroll's going to do here. Is Carroll going to try to put an attack in? Shaunik's very strong. Very strong. Yeah, Shaunik just keeping the... probably trying to keep the power high here. Actually, we're going to drop down a little bit on this flatter stuff. It'll be hard to maintain the power as we flatten down a little bit. But still, we're at 4 watts per kilo for both riders. Great racing here. This will help Shaunik in the standings being up here, the overall. Since he had that one race where he totally disconnected and then came back on in 41st place. So that was kind of like the easy stuff. We got down to like 4%, picked up some speed. We're just over 20k an hour right now. 38 minutes, and we have 600 meters to go. It's going to kick right here. So we're kicking back up 9-10%. And we're going to keep going 11, 12, maybe 13% we're going to get to here in the steepest stuff. Carroll's putting an attack here. 6 watts per kilo. Shaunik counters with over 10. Just a quick jab. Gets himself back ahead of Carroll. Shuts her down to 5.5 watts per kilo. That's just, to me, that's Shunik saying, hey man, I'm right here with you. Nice try, but I'm right here. Carroll's just sitting on his wheel watching him. I'm expecting Shunik to attack as soon as he gets out of this stuff. Although it looks like he's trying to ramp it up as he goes. So he's now pushing 6 watts per kilo. Whew. Carroll countering with 7, coming right back. Carroll is right on his wheel. 7 watts per kilo out of Shunik. Just as Carroll gets back on, Carroll's going to have to counter again. I'm wondering if he's going to dig even harder. Yeah, look at this. Shunik digging hard over the top. 8 watts per kilo. Now it's going to level off. Oh, and we're going to drop down a little bit here, folks. He's got a 20-something meter gap. 30-meter gap already. It's race over, folks. Shunik will be taking first place with that last little attack up that last little grade. Awesome job. Fantastic work by Carroll here to get second as well. Great job, Carroll. Always in the top 5-6 riders when I watch Carroll. Stefan Schmidt and L. Roland, side by side. I want to have a little look here at the standings, folks. So L. Roland is 3rd overall. Stefan Schmidt is 1st overall. So this race actually, these two are having quite the intense battle here. They're only separated by 18 points. To be honest, since I'm not in charge of Muckers, I just follow the races for them. I don't know what the points, how the points payouts go, if you may call it, or the points spread goes. Stefan needs to finish ahead of El Roland here. I don't know what how many points El Roland will get if he finishes ahead of Stefan. How it works. I'm going to have to look into that. I apologize. I should know this stuff. So yeah, they're into the easier section here. We should get down to about 4%, I believe, through here. There was one small section of 4. Then we're going to kick up back into that 11% stuff. Yeah, okay, we're in the 4s now. There it is. That's what I saw. Under 4. So we've got a little bit of 4%. Very tense battle here. Then we've got 5th and 6th place Dog Trips and Don Matteo and Klaus Kinski in the mix, just behind them. So this is going to be fascinating to watch this one. Who is going to go first here? Stefan just has to counter El Roland, really. So El Roland starting up the climb here. We're 10-11% here. Who's got something left in the tank? Stefan pushing hard now. 5-6 watts per kilo. El Roland 5.5 watts per kilo. But realistically, Stefan just needs to stick with El Roland all the way. That's the best way to cover this. El Roland needs to get out ahead and try to steal some points from Stefan. It's very difficult to do, though, at this point. It can be quite frustrating, too. You're trying to get away and you see that person just, match your every move. And you don't want to blow up now, either. You can see how quickly people can get away. I think these two are going to finish side by side. That's my guess. They're both pushing 5 watts per kilo. So Stefan here probably just wants to keep it right at 5 watts per kilo, keeping El Roland right at the edge. Okay, Stefan pushing now 6 watts a kilo over the top. This is what Shunik did as well. Right over the top, just accelerate. And, yep, just got a little smidge of a gap on El Roland. I mean, El Roland's doing 4 watts a kilo, and we've got a 30-meter gap already. So Stefan there made a perfect move at the end, protecting points for the championship standings. So Stefan's going to finish 3rd. El Roland will come in 4th. Kind of just going into recovery mode now, knowing Stefan's away. It doesn't really matter how far El Roland finishes back now. They've got 4th place locked up. So 4th place locked up. Looks like Dog Trips has gotten away from Don Matteo. Wow. Still climbing here. Can Don Matteo come back? Klaus Kinski's right there as well. So I thought Ritim might be able to catch up with them, but just a little bit too far back now on this climb. I think I'll stay on Don Matteo and watch these numbers. So will the map show this for us? So the brown dot here, that's Dog Trips. Don Matteo in the middle with Klaus Kinski coming up fast. Ooh, this could be interesting here. Let's get back to, we're going to go on Klaus Kinski and turn the camera on, and look at this. Don Matteo is directly ahead of him. These two might be able to work together to get Dog Trips back. Oof. Yeah, they're so close together here. Dog Trips is just... Oh, come on, Dog Trips. Okay. I saw 0 watts per kilo in low wattage, so I think a bad gear change there perhaps. Now, okay, now Dog Trips is back on it. I'd love to know, Dog Trips, did you have a bad gear change there? That's all. I saw it drop down to 0. So I imagine something slipped. Happens to all of us, right? Let me know. And then I immediately saw you, once you got back on again, then you were like back to almost 7 watts per kilo. So that gave Don Matteo the chance to fully catch up with Dog Trips here, side by side. Klaus Kinski just dangling behind them at 20 meters. So we're now going to enter that flatter section of where we go down to 3.8%. That will occur just after the set of wooden stairs up here. Watch on your right hand side. There's this like set of wooden stairs. Let me get on Dog Trips here. Dog Trips giving it another good dig here. 5 watts a kilo. Trying to ditch Dawn again. Here's the wooden stairs I was talking about. And we should be at, yeah, we were under 3% there. So Dog Trips puts an attack in. Gets a 15-meter gap right away on Don Matteo. Can Don react to this? Now we are hitting the steep stuff again, 11% gradient here. So Dog Trips is just going to dump everything here to try to get away on this last little bit of a climb. At 5 watts a kilo, Don has to match every move that Dog Trips makes here. So in Dog Trips' mind right now, he's thinking just keep matching the power that Don Matteo is putting out. And he's doing a great job of it. He's matching, if not exceeding the power most of the time. So 4.5 watts per kilo each. Don Matteo slightly pulling him back here. 7 watts, 7 meters difference now. Uh-oh. So close, these two. Dog Trips is really going to have to kick over the top. I think the 2 riders before, they made a huge kick right at the sign right here. Make your kick right here, and you can get a gap. Because it starts flattening out at this point. It'll start coming down. So, yep, looks like he's putting a bit of a kick in. Oh, my. Yeah, okay. I saw a disconnect there quickly, but he kept pedaling. Keep pedaling, keep pedaling. Keep pedaling, buddy. Nice job. Nice job. I don't know if you saw that, but there was an NA there for a second, like just momentarily. And it looked like he was going to stop, but he kept pedaling. So he's got a 6-7 meter gap. I'm cheering for Dog Trips here. No bias, just he made the break, he got away. Can he hold it? Don Matteo trying to get back on. 250 meters to the finish here. Can Don pull out a huge sprint here and get past Dog Trips? Dog Trips still holding the power high. Puts out 7.5, 8 watts per kilo there. Gets away. Does a little bit of a coast down the hill. Probably just exhausted at this point. Will hold on for 5th place. Excellent ride. Excellent ride by Don here too. You did pull him back. I saw it go down. Klaus Kinski coming in for 7th place. Kind of had mostly a solo ride today. Ratim. I thought this rider could catch the 3 ahead. Probably just the way the course route profile played out. He probably got stuck on a bit of a steeper segment when they were close together, and the other 3 were on the more shallow incline, so they were able to escape. Mike Hagan's only 250 meters behind Ratim. Simon JP, rocking it, 10th place. Really good ride. Okay, so I thought Simon was with Ginger and that before. So we've got 2 riders side by side. We've got Ginger Jitters and Weeb. They were together before. Someone split off from these 3. Not sure if Simon went through them or what. Then we're back to Duckman, only 105 meters behind. Something could happen there if riders start falling apart on this last little bit. Stephen Ludford. Hey, I'm just going to jump back to the front if anyone wants to. Just want to see some people's finishes here. Nice finish by Ratim, pushing high 3-4 watts per kilo. Definitely not riding cruisy here to the finish. Doesn't have to push hard. Has already got 8th place secured. I like these kinds of finishes. I just wanted to show that. I mean, sometimes I go very cruisy across the finish line at 1 watt per kilo, not really caring. Just interesting to see how people ride, you know, people finishing strong. And I think a lot of people don't see that unless you've got Inside Cycling World catching all the action. Okay, yep. Mike Hagen finishing nice here. Yeah, I guess, yeah, there it is. Mike is right at 70 kilograms in body weight. So probably better suited to climbing than me. I'm more of a Simon type back here. Pushing slightly higher power, but more body weight. So Mike Hayden, 9th place. Excellent job. Simon, you're not far now, buddy. Not far now. 1.44 kilometers. Kind of makes me want to ride this route. Okay, so we got Ginger Jitters and Weeb together. We'll be watching these two. Then we're down to Duckman 2. Stephen Ludford. Ooh, we got a few here. So we got Duckman 2 just up the road around the corner. Stephen Ludford here with the Shark. Then we're going to back up 300 meters to Sylvia, riding solo at this point. 700 meters back, we got David 1951. I thought David was with them before. Redogma and Phil from the SC race team are not that far behind David at this point. Neil's riding a pretty conservative just over 2 watts per kilo here. I don't think Neil's out to blow himself up today. We know Neil can climb, so good for Neil here. Oh yeah, he's catching this guy that's rocking his bike like crazy. Yeah, use that body weight, rock the bike. This guy's working. This guy's got a backpack on though too. Easy Spanner's not that far behind Neil. You see him just up the road, 44 meters distance. Here comes Kurt Johansson. I don't know why I said Johansson there. Didn't mean to say that. Kurt Hansen. Andresano. Ooh, Andresano's off and on the pedals quite a bit, it seems. Stelvio Bound just caught them. Really wasn't paying attention much to the back there at that point with the battles at the front. I'm not sure if these two have been working together, if they were waiting for each other. Kurt Hansen did go through them though, because Kurt started dead last here. But obviously a few minutes after the other riders. So we're going to go to the front. Simon coming in 10th place. Great ride. I wonder if Simon's been doing the Thursday series, the championship series. I'll have to check in the standings for where they sit. Simon could just be a rider that just showed up out of the blue to do this. And again, Simon's only a level 17 rider, hasn't been around a long time. Simon, give us your backstory. If you ever see the video, I need a backstory on you. Did you switch from another platform? Did you just decide one day I got to get back in shape? I'm just making stories up here. I think that's what most of us are on here. It's just one day you just like, I got to get back in shape. And this is the best way you can do it. Get to see some scenery, get some competition, get to stay safe. Yeah, I like being safe. So yeah, I mentioned earlier, did my second group ride today this week. Today though, I stuck more at the front, riding right at like 2.5 watts per kilo. That's what it was described as it being, 1.5 to 2.5. Today was led by Lance Legstrong. And I saw comments on Facebook saying how this was like the best, most cooperative, organized group ride they've ever seen. And it felt that way to me too. Everyone at the front, there were some kicks. I mean, there was a little bit of I guess people were pushing harder right at the very end because I think there was still 50 meters of climbing left. I mean, I know I pushed my power up a little bit, but it all kind of came back together. Sometimes I would roll through on the downhills. I would pass everyone, bump into first place for a little bit. I would let off, get back into the group. Tried to stay with Lance Legstrong all the way. Give them some draft when I could. Yeah, super well organized, and everyone kind of knew this is what we need to do. Hey, while we're here, So, had a new YouTube comment person. I hope she's subscribed. Just asking me some questions about Rouvy. I think she's brand new to it. And I mentioned this morning that I was going to do another group ride this week because I just did a group ride video. I thought, you know what? I've never done a group ride video before. You can believe that. So I just kind of did a group ride video with Nobby Styles on Tuesday. Kind of floated around more in that one, just kind of showing, the magnet effect and all that kind of stuff that I guess all of us know about. But if you're new to Rouvy, I think those are important videos for them to see. So a lady named Penelope messaged me, and then I think today, yeah, it was this morning, she said she actually saw herself in the video. Because I didn't know who she was at this point. So I think her name is Pit Stop something or other. So everyone, please keep a lookout for Pit Stop Penelope. I think she's pretty new to Rouvy. She's getting hardcore about it. And I know she's going to make huge improvements on Rouvy. Number one thing I can say, I don't know if you want me to call you Penelope or Pit Stop. Let's just go with Pit Stop for now until you tell me what you want. Is just ride as much as possible. Consistency, consistency, consistency. You're going to find most of the people that you see on here, they're riding every day. Every day. On the days they're not riding hard, they're doing group rides. They're doing recovery rides. To me, I honestly believe it's way more beneficial to just do something. Just get on and spin for 15 minutes. Just anything. If I take 2 or 3 days off, I feel it. So don't, and I've said it before, you probably got friends out there who like to say, oh, you know what, you need a few days off. You've earned it. Don't believe them. Do not believe them. Let's say you ride every day for 3 weeks straight and then you decide to take 2 weeks off. You've probably lost all the good you did in that first 3 weeks. So you're better off to do something. And I do that sometimes. I'll do a little 15-minute ride. So when I feel like, okay, I don't really want to go hard. I don't want to get into a big battle with someone online, because I will. Here's Ginger Jitters. Ginger Jitters did finish ahead of Weeb at this point. Stephen Ludford coming up with the Shark. They might pull Weeb back. No, he is in the finishing downhill section now. So Weeb will hold on to 12th place. Stephen Ludford and the Shark here. So yeah, pit stop. Ride every day. 7 days a week. There's a ton of good routes. Short, deadly flat ones. Look for under the city route cities category. There'll be a ton in there. And all of these are like doable in 15-20 minutes. And trust me, there's something to be said. Stephen putting a dig here. Just making sure he stays ahead of the Shark. The Shark's pretty content with 14th place at the moment. Oh, Duckman is right there as well. Duckman 2 was coming back up through the group, I think. Duckman 2 chasing, will finish 15th. Looks like, I think Shark's just far enough ahead. Yeah, he is. Silly Sill coming to the finish. So yeah, if you're looking for short, easy routes, go into the app, go under filters and select cities. There's a ton of like 8, 9, 10, 18 kilometer long routes that won't take that long at all. Very little climbing to do. So you're not going to get slowed down, bogging down. Yeah, that's my best suggestion to anyone who's kind of getting on Rouvy or kind of getting back into fitness, trying to get back in shape, realizing you've let it go a little too far. Just every day. There's really no excuse why you can't. Everyone's got 15-20 minutes somewhere. If you don't, get up earlier. Just wake up a little bit earlier. What else are you going to do? Squeeze that extra bit of time in. And I'm really one of those people where it's like, let's say I worked out 15 days straight. And then someone said, oh, you don't need to work out today. Then in my mind, I'm like, oh, I got to start over at 1 again. But if I would have worked out, now I'm at 16 days. Next thing you know, you're at like day 268. I think that's what I did a few years back. 2019, maybe 2020 even. I rode every day. I think I was at day 269. Later on that day, I found myself in the hospital. That broke my streak. And I was so pumped about telling people every day. And people start, what day are you at now? What day are you at? Don't you need a break? No, don't need a break. Here's Sylvia coming in for 16th place. Awesome rider. Great job, Sylvia. Love watching you ride. David 1951 is not that far back. Yeah, so ride every day. Yeah. And so back to that little story. I'm pretty sure it was day 268. Yeah, I think I rode in the morning and I found myself in the hospital that afternoon. Wicked bad kidney infection. That sounded really weird, didn't it? Wicked bad. Sounded like I'm straight out of Boston or something. Wicked bad. Anyways, yeah, horrendous kidney infection. And then, yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't ride that day. So I was at this would have been day 269, and I asked the doctor, "Can I ride tonight?" And he goes, "Nope." He goes, "The antibiotics I'm putting you on are known to be very stressful on ligaments and your soft tendons and things like that." He goes, "No cycling for 2 weeks." Completely blew up my 268 straight. I could be wrong. It could be 265, but you know what I'm saying. It was 260 something. But yeah, I kind of lived for that. Okay, there's another day in the books. There's another day in the books. And lately I've been really terrible. 3 days on, 2 days off, 4 days on, 1 day off, then 3 days on. So I'm trying to get more consistent. I should practice what I preach a little bit more often. But you know, if you're first starting out, just ride every day, ride every day, ride every day. I've been liking the group ride so much. I promise I'm going to make Colin's Inside Cycling World ride along spectacular sessions here very soon. I'm going to ride them no matter what. You can join me if you want. You don't have to join me either. You can just, whatever. Maybe I'll make a video out of them. I'll probably capture all the video. And I think they're going to be like super low pro, cruisy chill rides. And probably going to do them live with camera. So that we can chat with each other and I can respond to people, all that kind of cool stuff. Let's see where we're at here. So we're currently at an hour for this video. You know I love my long videos, but I got other stuff to do today too. So we got David 1951 coming in 17th place. 18th will be Redogma, but Phil's right there. Wily Phil, lurking, 38 meters back. Kurt Hansen just rocking his way up through the field right now. Started dead last, 24th. Had a late start too, and has now passed 4 riders. So Kurt might catch Phil. Here's Phil. Here's Redogma. Redogma is going to be just over the top here. Here's that sign I always talk about. The sign that I mentioned earlier, not that I always talk about. Phil's just getting to the sign. Kurt's really going to claw back some distance here. I think those two are safe. Redogma for sure. Phil riding half the power, just over half the power of Kurt. It's coming down real quick, but Phil will be up over the top soon. You can see here, look at the profile at the top. He's going to be up over the top soon, but it's coming down fast too. Kurt right now has got the bit between his teeth and he is digging in. I love it, Kurt. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. I'm not cheering against Phil. I just love seeing someone put in an attack, like just a chase mode. I don't know. Kurt might be absolutely redlined right now. And here's Phil. He's like, I gotta get over here. I gotta get over this little bump and run for the border. Come on, Phil. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Kurt's coming, man. He's coming fast. Look at this. They are both right here. Check it out. They're both right there for the finish. There's the 2 riders. One rider, Redogma's just finishing up ahead. Phil's running for his life. Kurt might have nothing left at this point. He dug so deep there. 4.5 watts per kilo. Trying to get Phil back. Okay, Kurt just got into a bigger gear. I think Phil's away. Great job by these 2 riders. Phil, awesome stuff, man. Kurt, you dug deep there. That is some of the best stuff for me on Rouvy, is stuff like that. You know, it's really cool because these 2 riders don't even know each other. But man, did they ever give each other a little bit of extra training today. Kurt's like, I can see someone, I'm getting them. And Phil's like, oh, I can see someone behind me, I'm getting out of here. So both those riders, if Phil wasn't there, I don't think, and I don't know Kurt, I don't know him, so I'm not saying anything negative. If Phil wasn't there, like the dangling carrot, I don't think Kurt would have attacked or chased so hard there. That's just my guess, because I know I wouldn't have. And I don't think if Kurt was there that Phil wouldn't have pushed extra hard at the end there. So this is the beauty of coming on, entering these events, and just pushing yourself a little bit harder. Those make the coolest stories on Rouvy, is stuff like that. That's when, if I was in their situation, that's when I'd be trying to find that person on Rouvy and add them to my friends list. Like, man, you gave me such an awesome ride. Thank you so much. And it worked out for both riders. Okay, so we've got Easy Spanner here. And we've got Neil coming up behind him here. Neil pushing over 3 watts per kilo at the finish at the blue sign. Easy Spanner should be safe here. Only 50 something meters, but Easy Spanner just has to get around the bend here. You can see it here. They kind of take a left off the road. And it's going to be getting easier for Spanner first before Neil. Neil is pulling them back though. Just slowly pushing a little bit more power. So here's Neil. I mean, if Neil can get within 20 to 30 meters quickly, you can see here though that Easy Spanner is now taking the left off the road, is now going downhill. Or close to it. You can see he's just getting over the bump. So Neil's got to hope that Spanner blows up here. And Neil's going to need to drop 10 watts per kilo now. Does Neil have anything left? Does Neil want to kick in the afterburners? I think Neil might be content to finish just as is. Ride easy to the finish. Yeah, Neil's in cruisy mode. Can't blame him. That was a nice tough day on the bike. Yeah, we know Neil knows how to climb. So Easy Spanner just finished. Neil coming to the finish here in 22nd. Then we've got Stelvio Bound, who will finish in 23rd place. And Andresano is not that far behind. You know what I'm going to do, folks? Neil's coming to the finish now here. I know these riders aren't that far, but I'm well over an hour now. And yeah, I'm probably going to call it. Probably going to pull the pin here and get this baby uploaded for your viewing pleasure. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's take a look at Andresano quick. Don't want to forget about Andresano here. Do the stuff for YouTube. You know what they like. Like the video. I know most of you guys have subscribed. I keep asking for more subscribers. It is trickling up slowly. And I'm really excited about the fall when maybe more people come aboard. Like, get back to inside cycling. I can't blame people for riding outside and maybe not being too interested in this stuff right now. But by the fall, it's going to start picking up again, and boom, we're off to the races, right? The fall is not that far here. We can get frost next month. That's scary. We can get 30 degrees Celsius in August, or we can get 0. I mean, obviously that's first thing in the morning. We got a bit of elevation on our sides here, so it does happen. Anyways, I'm the Master Rambler, so let's shut her down there, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.